How you doing, guys? This is BGDINO, and I am the Terrordome Soldier. Today's review is going to be on the movie Thunderbolts. I'm going to give my immediate reaction, and I'm also going to give my review. So sit back, relax, guys. This may be a little bit of a long one, so I'm going to use timestamps. So remember, just go to the timestamp. If you don't want to see certain parts, you can just jump straight to it. This is going to be at least a 20-minute one. So sit back, guys, relax. Hopefully you guys watch the whole thing. I encourage you to, especially you Marvel fans. You know how I feel about Marvel and DC movies, that you have to see them. No matter what, if they bad or good, you have to see them because they always connect. And this one will be no different. So let's watch this trailer.
Let's talk facts. The Avengers are not coming. Who will keep the American people safe?
There's some big threat out there, and you are gonna help me stop it.
Wait, us?
Yeah, you. Why, you got someplace to be?
I love that guy.
So none of us comply? So what, do we all just punch and shoot?
I can't think of a worse group of people trying to work together.
Everyone here has done bad things. You can't escape their past. Hey, it's like your mind is somewhere else.
So you can do something about it now, or live with it forever.
This could get messy.
No shit. You thought you were gonna be some great saviors? You can't even save yourself.
We can't do this. No one here is a hero.
Lena, when I look at you, I don't see your mistakes. That's why we need each other.
Okay, that was really good.
We are the Thunderbolts!
Can't call ourselves that.
God, thank you.
This has makings of team that can rise to glory. Bring light from the darkness. This team can be the heroes on the waiting spot. With a little idiot toy.
Alexei, have you slept?
I'll sleep when I'm dead.
Oh, I'd like not to die today, so maybe somebody else be driving.
Thunderbolts is kind of like Marvel's version of the Suicide Squad. And if you guys are not familiar with the characters, I'm going to give you a little bio of the characters as we talk. The first character that we're introduced to is actually the new Black Widow. She was sent on a mission to assassinate someone. Once she got there to try to assassinate the person she was there to do the mission for, she was attacked by... He was actually the first Captain America. And he was attacked by Taskmaster. Well, the bootleg version of Taskmaster. I'm going to say this is more like, you remember the movie where they had the fake Deadpool? That's how the Taskmaster was. And then Taskmaster was attacked by the Ghost. And they all began to fight and try to kill each other. During the midst of them fighting, Taskmaster ended up getting killed by the Ghost. And once the Ghost got killed, the three other ones, the three remaining survivors, which is the Black Widow, the original Captain America and Ghost, they were inside of a chamber room, and they realized that they were locked inside the chamber room, and the whole room was like a big disintegrator. They was gonna try to cremate them. They was trying to clear up all the loose ends. And while they were discussing what's going on, another character came out, a guy by the name of Bob. You know, first you didn't know where his role was going to be. He came off acting like,
Got a good brain. You make me happy.
But
and you really didn't know what was going on with him. I mean, it was really like, all through the movie, all you kept hearing was, I actually counted, they said Bob over 25 times. You know, the movie, it took off, it started off real high. I'm going to say this movie was a roller coaster. It went up, down, down. So, this is one of the kind of movies, just like the last movie I think I reviewed. This movie right here, the ending credit made the whole decision for this movie, because when it first came on, I think that first action scene that I just described, you know, I was giving that was great. I liked the action scene. It was real hard fighting, and it was amazing because they actually showed Taskmaster get killed, so which means, you know, they didn't kill. There was no limits. Nobody was safe once you've seen something like that. And I can appreciate that, especially in a Marvel or DC movie. But I do have to admit one thing. It did get boring at times. So let BG take a nap for a minute, because it did get kind of dry. So like I said, it started off good, then it gets a little boring. Then of course you get introduced to this character right here. You know, he was the comic relief of the movie. He was hilarious. He was hilarious, you know. So in the second act, you know, even though I say it got a little dry, of course it picked up a little bit, because, you know, Bucky is in the Senate right now, so he's in the movie also. So he shows up, you know, here and there, but he wasn't actually acting as the Winter Soldier yet. Yeah, I know you've seen the trailer when he took the arm from out the dishwasher and put it on. That was actually, you know, showing him actually being prepared to be the Winter Soldier again. So it came down to a scene where they were being attacked, and you seen one of the things that looked familiar blew up one of the trucks that was following behind the Red Guardian in his limousine. And nevertheless, it was Bucky as the Winter Soldier. I mean, when that happened, everybody in the theater just got excited, clapping, yeah. So, like I explained in the beginning, it was a roller coaster ride. This scene right here was great. He came and he did his Winter Soldier thing. He shot his bombs. He got them out of the situation. And right after he got them out of the situation, he actually locked them up, because all of them were criminals. Everybody that I showed you, all of them were criminals, including Bucky at one point. So the guy Bob, his powers was, well, he didn't even know he had powers at the time until he was captured by Valentina, and she started brainwashing, doing the brainwashing process, kind of like how the Winter Soldier was. She started brainwashing him, feeding him things, telling him that they try and destroy him and things like that. Because like I said, you know, Bob, he wasn't like really on track, you know, like I explained at the beginning. So eventually, the rest of the Thunderbolts, they explained to Bucky what was going on, and he pretty much agreed that, hey, we can't have this. She caught him, and they seen the powers that Bob had, because when Bob, before he got caught, they had shot him down because he called himself trying to protect the Thunderbolts, because everybody was after him, and they shot him down, and then he got back up, and he just flew up in the sky, and he pretty much crashed into the mountains, and that was how Valentina caught him again. I'm sorry, I just had to rewind a little bit. So, you know, while he was out, she was giving him the brainwash, and they were making little jokes about different serums that people got, you know, because, you know, Captain America supposed to have a serum that none of them had. But I'm glad they finally addressed the issue, because they never addressed it on the regular Avengers. You know, that Black Widow had the serum, Hawkeye had the serum, and even Falcon, he even had the serum eventually. I know in one of Captain America movie they said he wasn't getting it, but in the comics he really did. So I'm assuming that eventually that's going to happen. So anyway, once Bob got brainwashed and she dyed his hair, she gave him a new uniform, and she gave him a name. He was Sentry. Sentry is this guy right here, like I put in the first picture. And he pretty much beat them like they wasn't even there. He whooped all their tails, to the point, and by the Black Widow, Black Widow little sister, the new Black Widow, she had a little communication with Bob before he switched over to Sentry, and she was able to talk him into not killing him and start listening to him. But Sentry had a dark side, which is the next character. You guessed it, Void. Void was the next character. And Void powers was pretty much he was evil. And what he does is when he put his shadow over you, you pretty much just disappear like that. Kind of like they did on Endgame, how people just disappeared and you thought they were dead, but they really wasn't. The same thing with them. It kept it quiet for a minute that if it was people were dead or not, but eventually it came clean that they wasn't dead. What he did was he sent you to an area where you had to face your biggest, darkest, deepest fears, and you had to address them pretty much. So they was able to defeat. I'm just fast forwarding, make a long movie short, because the best thing is I'm sure you guys want to hear my rating and my immediate reaction. So basically, they were able to take Void down by going into his world, the shadow world, and they was able to talk to Bob, which was the inner person / Sentry, about what was going on, and they was able to convince him to, let that go. And so pretty much they kept the Void in the back, and pretty much Bob took back over. But he wasn't able to go to Sentry again because he was scared, because if he ever did, he was afraid that Void would come back. So we at the end now. We get to a scene where all the Thunderbolts are there. They just got finished defeating Void, and they see Miss Valentino talking, and she's talking on the phone, and they was like, well, we're going to get her, we're going to kill her. So they go to attack Miss Valentino. She was standing like in front of a tent, and she went inside the tent, so they went to go in the tent behind her. Once they went in the tent, they was on a stage, and the press and everybody was out there. It was a big news conference. This part right here is very, very important. This changed the entire movie. So once they went out there, and they were sitting there looking like, what is going on, what is going on? Trying to find out, Miss Valentino, she already had the press and everybody. She told them, these are the new Avengers. Man, everybody went crazy. Like I said, this movie had an elevator ride, and just off that part alone, it changed the whole volume of the movie. So the Thunderbolts is actually could have been titled The New Avengers. Wow. So you have to stick around. Then the movie pretty much goes off. Of course, it's a Marvel movie, so you have to stick around for the post-credit scene. In fact, there's two of them. It's a mid-credit post scene, and it's a post-credit scene all the way at the end. So the first post-credit scene, it shows magazines and Wheatie boxes. I know you've seen the commercial with the Wheatie box with all them on it, calling them the new Avengers, and all these posters, and they make a little funny pictures and costume characters. And then it makes a statement that Sam Wilson, aka the Falcon, aka the new Captain America, he is suing them off copyrights because they call themselves the Avengers, and he copyrighted the name. So then that post-credit scene go off. And then the very last, the final post-credit scene, that was the mid-credit one at first. This is the final one. They see this ship flying in the air, and everybody like, what is that? And as the ship rotated, it had a number 4 on it. It was the Fantastic Four. So it was merging Fantastic Four into the actual Marvel Universe. That right there changed the whole perspective of the movie for me. And here's my immediate reaction and review. Rating, sorry. So, my immediate reaction to Thunderbolts is going to be, it was a roller coaster. And my review, I'm going to give my review. My review is 5 out of 5 Pterodon Soldiers is the best. 0 out of 5 Pterodon Soldiers is the worst. I'm going to give it, after seeing the ending credits, you have to see the ending credits. After seeing the ending credits, I'm going to give it a 2.4. 2.4 turn on soldiers out of 5. Alright guys. But there you have it guys. You know, it changed the whole perspective once. This is the second time that happened. I watched one movie when I saw the post-credit scene. Made it worse for me. So sometimes the post-credit scenes can make or break a movie. I never believed that until recently, the last couple movies. So post-credit scenes are pretty important, but you have to stay to see this one. This one is very important. Even though I explained it to you, it's still nothing like seeing it yourself. Once you see it yourself, you'll feel a whole new different way. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you for supporting my channel. Please hit the like button. Please leave a comment if you guys like to. And you know, if I missed anything, you guys let me know. We can have a discussion about it. Shout out to the Dante Show Network. Shout out to June 5th. Shout out to Miss Jersey. Subscribe to her channel. It's Forensic8888. She does movie reviews and she does book reviews. This is BGDINO, and thank you guys very much. I mean it from the bottom of my heart. I really appreciate it.